Hello everybody, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and oh my god, I've just seen an incredible action movie. It's called One More Shot. This is the sequel to One Shot, which is a movie I've also seen and spoke about. Now, this one here is better than the first one. There's more action in it, there's better dialogue. Even the acting, you could say, well, the acting was good in the first one, but this one here has a lot more better acting to it, more characters. It's just brilliant. I was going to watch another movie, but this movie was also in my mind first, so I thought, might as well watch the sequel. It sounds better. So I'm going to get straight to it. Obviously watch the movie first and then watch this video afterwards, because I'm going to give away a lot of spoilers, as per usual. If I dare talk about the whole movie, I won't be, I probably might be talk about things that are not in chronological order, so bear me on that one. But yeah, it starts off very interesting with some, I think, was it FBI? Is it FBI? CIA? Something like that. Some troops going to a cargo container. They're going to this. I think was it a cargo shipping? Shipping, whatever it's called. It's called something, right? It's got all the cargos, right? And they're trying to find a bomb that was in there. And they try to go through these like terrorists and stuff like that, and they shoot them and they up at the container, and it's empty. So yeah, fast forward when it goes. We fast forward to the scene where I think this guy's name is Howard or something like that. The old dude interviewing this woman Nisha, who's the wife of Amin Mansoor. If you don't remember the first one, Amin is the one that knows everything, has all the answers, is part of this. And Nisha's also pregnant too. So I was talking to her, showing her a video of something, and it goes to the airport where you see also Jake is there. The main character guy that got Amin out of it in the first one goes there, and then they go into this airport, in this room, and I think I'm just gonna call this guy Howard. I don't know what this dude's name is. I think his name is Howard, but they call him Marshall. But on the website it says Howard, but you see, I don't know, I'll go by the pictures, the dude Howard anyway. But anyway, he said what happened on the black site in Poland, what's happened, and he didn't give much away there. Like, not even Jake knew, and he didn't want to give much answers. I don't think I mentioned what site it was, because I think I kind of forgot what the site was called. So it's a good job I mentioned it now. And then, I think Jake said something I don't know, because he was told to be escorted out and he had to answer to somebody. So escorted out, he was talking to someone on FaceTime. Wasn't exactly outside, but he was outside the room. He couldn't go back in. And he was sitting down, and he sees 3 of these guys coming that looked like they were not mercenaries, they looked like they were soldiers or something like that. Goes to listen to them, and he sees they're taking out two agents, and then he begins to go behind a wall or something like that, and then he starts taking them out. And yeah, bear that in mind, and there was an agent called Jennifer Lomax that came into it as well, which I forgot to mention. I should have done. I was planning to mention that before the action started. She's going to be important, bear that in mind. So I'll continue with this, the movie as go along. And so many good action scenes, man. When they had to run off, and he had to take, I think, Amin and his wife with him, because part of the protection thing, because he was ordered to protect them, and he went to keep his word. And yeah, they go inside. There's a shoot off at the airport between the agents and the soldiers, and they go into a car and they drive. The one that Jake is in, it got hectic. He gets out the car, starts shooting, because like a truck in front they came in from, and then starts shooting. And then Hooper gets hit, and she eventually passes. And they're surrounded inside the car. They stay silent, and they're completely surrounded by these soldiers. Jake says bang, 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 shoots them out, and takes all of them out. They go reverse, then they get out. I think they gone back to the airport. I forgot part of what the scene was entailed, but nothing much was happening. After it begins, you see the point with the soldiers this time. You get some of the characters here. You got Dunbar. I think he was talking to Stanwell or something like that. And then you see Lawrence coming. Was it Lawrence? Or Jackson, that's it. This Jackson dude, I'm telling you what, he's a great actor. The way he comes in with his antagonist aura into things, brilliant. The way he talks out, presents himself. They picked a perfect antagonist for this one. And he wasn't necessarily the one running the shots, even though it sounded like he was the way he was talking. And he was talking to, I think, someone called Kelly, I think. That was at the computer asking, where are they? We got to find Amin, that's who they want. Excuse me. Go find Amin, that's who they want. and then see him in the camera, and they ask this guy who's like the CEO or something like that of the airport, and they ask him where they are, and he knew where they were. He just didn't want to get in the location, so he goes in. He's like, oh, they're not really here. Oh no, and then goes out, and then proceeds to I think he takes one of them out. I think something like that. Yeah, it gets absolutely crazy, and then there's like a crazy scene where they go inside this basement with all the the basement is all the wires, tubes, cables and stuff. I don't know what you call it. I'm just gonna call it basement. And he goes and he takes these dudes out. There's even where he takes especially the dudes that found them, Amin and Nisha. But as soon as just before they were about to go with him, Jake comes in, takes him out. They go into that little hallway or something like that. He's not necessarily surrounded, but he's under pressure, shoots him, take him out. There's action throughout. I can't keep up. I'm going to be missing some things out here, I really can't keep up with this. And then eventually they get to safety. And I think what other scene? There was a scene where, the guy that was, they wanted to show him directions. Obviously, gets shot in the head, and then, they also go when they goes towards Jake's direction was hiding. He begins to, take him out. I think stab him, something like that. And then as soon as they were about to go out, bang, bang, bang. I think this was before. I think this might have been after. And I think they go into the police room as well at some point in the movie. They go into the room where it's all secured and boarded up. Well, not quite, but that's usually where the agents were as well. You see Amin and Nisha come in, and Nisha wants to help him out as well. Wow, how chaotic, man. This is just absolutely chaotic. And then you see the Howard guy say, Amin, come here. Amin goes there and sees a video of what's happened at the shipping container. And then you see Jennifer come in. You see Jake come in and seeing what's going on. And here's the twist. Here's where the good part comes into it. Obviously, one of them tipped him off where Amin was, because not many people know. These soldiers would have entered in if they didn't know, if someone didn't tell them. And then Amin looks at Jennifer and says, "Oh, it's you. You're the one behind this. You're the one that gave me the phone calls over the phone. I've been getting those phone calls." He looks certain. He had the realizations, and he was telling the truth. And Jennifer says, "That's crazy. What you're talking about?" And and Jennifer was the one that tipped him off to go there. I thought it might have been the Howard guy. I was doubting it because of the age, and it turned out to be Jennifer. So I think I maybe had Jennifer on my mind when it came to that. So yeah, it was a bit of a twist to that one. I like the twist in the middle of stuff like that, especially when the action still continues. It's better to have it towards the end. And then if you see some agents coming in, no soldiers. I don't get anybody confused. Soldiers come and start shooting, and that's when they take everybody out, every agent out there, including the Howard guy, the old dude. They take him out. And then Amin and Nisha come, then you see Nisha escaping. And you see Scott trying to get into a bit of a fight there. Amin tries to escape, but they fold Jake down and he falls on his floor. Falls on the floor, not his floor. What? He falls on the floor and you think, oh, how's he going to get up from that? Obviously he recovers. He's the main one that has to, that's going to be the hero and all this. So he's the main one. And Amin gets held hostage. You see Jennifer come out. You see them go into a room. And then they interrogate him, force him to actually give it their code to the storage. I mean, they went in for time. I think they already knew anyway. They just wanted to take him out. And then they say, "Well, bring his wife in." You see two dudes going down to the ground floor, whatever, one floor down. I don't think it's ground floor level. You think of his corridor, this hallway, and you see Jake just take one dude out. You see Jake take another dude out. And then he had to he had to actually pretend he was one. This is the clever part I like about this scene. He comes, he actually dresses up as one of the soldiers, and he dresses up as one soldier, and he has to tell Nisha, "Look, pretend you're hostage, pretend, just struggle, pretend that I'm one of them and I found you." And then he takes upstairs, tells her what to do, and this is the one of the best, one of the tension in the movie that builds up. Saying, "Give me the code," because she actually told him, "Oh, just punch her belly," because she's pregnant, so just punch her belly, then you might get the codes. He gave it, and Jake didn't want to do it, but the look on his face was you can tell the tension in his eyes. You could just tell it, and you didn't want to do it, because one of them would have done it anyway. And he gave her the codes eventually, and she told him to read them a note But this is so much going on. I thought this video would be shorter. Tells the reader note is like tells what she wants wants him to say something bad about himself, making like he's a real terrorist, the enemy. He was framed in all this. So one of the first one was actually a decent dude, but he was still part of it. But the man, and she actually shot him in the end. And then when Jennifer and those dudes went out, he takes out the two guards that are there. And yeah, I think Amin dies in it because he wasn't really breathing or anything. He couldn't talk properly. Nisha was getting upset. It's tensions and emotions both in this movie too. Madness. And then you see like Jake on the side. He goes on the train with them. I mean, this way I don't think he attacks anyone at this point. So he gets onto a train, gets to the I don't know which floor. I think it might have been Graphs. I can't remember. I don't know which floor it was on. He sees like these dudes come in, gets on the train, and you see Dunbar come in. Wow, Dunbar comes in, and he's like saying, "Oh, who's your leader?" These people know if someone's an imposter, even with the mask on. And the guy says, about the dudes were left, the dudes that want to come with me, the guys that want to come with me. He was like, well, we have no leader, we don't have a lead to our squad. And then there's a big fight. He shoots 3 of the soldiers there, and I think they're part of some sort of corporation, Farringer or something like that. I can't really pronounce the name properly. They'll tell you in the movie anyway. And he has a fight with Dunbar, and Dunbar didn't die, obviously. Jake had to go back out, and this is a scene as well. This is a clever scene where he goes in and takes all them out when he's in like an underground. I think it's an underground part. It's where you go off at the train. I don't know what you call this location. And this is the scene which was at makes you go, ooh. Just when they have a fight with Dunbar again, he makes he makes Dunbar go through some sharp object. I thought it was through his balls at one point. I think it was just through his stomach. But damn, that's a mental scene right there. And then he goes in like he goes outside, and you can tell it's near the end because he's taking damn near everybody out. Bear that in mind. There's a lot to explain in the movie. If you want, you can watch another YouTuber explain it shorter. But I just want to talk about the whole movie. I want to talk about everything. I have to really put in a good word for these type of movies. Really, I'm not promoting it in, but make it more tentative for viewers to watch. And he goes outside and he sees like the Jackson dude. I mean, his name's definitely Jackson. Goes out, and I think Stanmore's there too. And Jennifer's obviously there. You can see the bomb in the truck, at the back of a truck or something. There's got radiation there. The bomb explodes. Obviously, everyone dies or survives. It's typical action movie plot right there. And yeah, he goes by an ambulance, Jake, and he calls it in, saying what's happening. And then as soon as they're about to move the truck along, the ambulance that Jackson's about to drive, he starts shooting at a few like soldiers, and he flattens a tire, shoots it, and he has this he has a fight with this Jackson dude, punches him out, has a big fight with him. You can tell that evenly matched, like he's like a fan of boss type thing, because Jake couldn't live with him. And then the fight comes in, and then he begins to get a bit more strength, because usually the protagonist always has a bit of urgency and a bit of anger, and be like, okay, F this, I'm going to go in for it, with the try my worth, bang, man. And then he handcuffs him to like some sort of like, I think, railing or something like that you call it. Yeah, railing, that's it. Handcuffs to railing, and he says not over yet. And he gets into a plane, and he sees Jennifer with the phone. He does shoot a pilot as well, because the pilot's also part of it. Then sees Jennifer with the phone, so put that down. And she's saying, you don't know what you've done, you called it in, didn't you? This is something, this is just the beginning, it's something far more bigger than this. Typical blah 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 end of villain type stuff. I really don't know why she was laughing. She's got prison time anyway, so she should have no right to laugh. She's the one that lost. They did do a good job anyway of helping themselves, as per usual, these antagonists. And then the FBI come in. I think it's the FBI, they say FBI, I would say. It doesn't matter, agents come in. And then they thought that Jake was like obviously enemy, because they saw him with a gun, but he turned he's a friendly, and he said he's Lieutenant Jake Harris. And yeah, excuse me, there's another bird right there. I was to be polite. And yeah, then he sits down. He asked if he needs a medic. He said no, and then he sees like the video on like I think it was on Jennifer. It has to be from Jennifer's phone. She's the only one in that plane with those seats where. Yeah, so has a phone. He picked up her phone and he sees a video of saying something, but he deletes it. Doesn't make a difference. It'll probably be shown on other people's phones, unless everybody's phones are connected somehow. I think there might be. Yeah, everything was all good there. Wow, that was a lot to explain. If I miss some scenes out, I do apologize. I don't want to make this video too long. I don't like my videos being longer than 15 minutes even. I know there's some odd video that I have made of it 15 minutes long, but I had to talk about the best. These are the best scenes in the movie, bear that in mind. You can watch it and tell me what you think, because wow, that was a lot to explain. But you know what, I can't hate. Making these videos long to talk about this whole movie, it actually is a good thing, because I'm trying to spread the word about this movie and want people to watch it. What can I say? The rating for this, easy 10 out of 10. There literally isn't a fault in this movie that I can find. There's some odd movies I find a fault in. The first one, I think I gave it a 7 or 8 out of 10, because there wasn't enough action for me. It wasn't chaotic like this movie is, especially being on a site, and the acting was still good. It wasn't the best, and it wasn't as good as this one. There was a lot more intensity, action, dialogue, storyline to this. It was way more chaotic. So yeah, one shot, 10 out of 10. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share everyone you know, subscribe and hit the notification bell, as I'll see you in my next video.